6 banner is dropping in just a week's time, and this video will break down all of the reasons why he is the best support in Reverse 1999 and someone that you do not want to miss out on. So first up, 6 is a Intellect Afflatus unit, and just from the Afflatus, we already have something good to say about 6. Being Intellect Afflatus, 6 does not receive additional 30% damage from the common Afflatuses like the Star, the Plant, the Beast, as well as the Mineral Afflatus. Although Intellect Afflatus does receive 30% extra damage from the Spirit enemies, these enemies are few and far between. So that means that you can safely put 6 in most if not all content, and this is in fact the case for 6, which means his flexibility is through the roof as a support. And if you're thinking, hey, being Intellect Afflatus also meant that he's not going to do extra 30% Afflatus bonus damage to the common enemies, and I'll say you're absolutely right if there wasn't a perfectly crafted Psycube for him. Balance please, that is also dropping into the game alongside his banner, and this Psycube is tailored for him having high attack, high HP, ultimate might, and on top of that 24% damage increase unconditionally for 6 because he's an Intellect Afflatus unit, which makes this Psycube unit combination really potent and makes him relevant even though he does not enjoy the Afflatus bonuses. But guess what, that is not even his point of focus because he's best known to be a great support, and his strength as a support lies in the fact that he's able to passively buff the whole team. What this means is that without consuming any action points, he's able to impact positively on the battle, which is what we commonly term as being AP generous. And AP generous units are always good in Reverse 1999 because this means that you are able to funnel your AP, your action points towards the carry to increase the DPS, reduce the amount of turns you clear, or increase your DPS for the raid score itself. So all of this clearing conditions and the scoring conditions are related to DPS, which means action points are best used on DPS units. Now of course it's incredibly good to be able to passively give buffs, but what's even better is that his buffs last for 2 rounds and his pool is full of really good buffs, including Incantation, Might, and Penetration rate increases, and these are both rare buffs, which means that they are less likely to suffer from diminishing returns since you are stacking less on your characters. And being uncommon in the nature of the buffs meant that 6 is able to pair up with other premier supports that provide more common buffs, such as Unli that provides the damage dealt increase and the damage taken reduction, so they can be used in conjunction, so it makes your team building more flexible and does not make your other supports actually obsolete. Now as if that is not enough, 6 also prioritizes giving buffs that the allies do not already have, so it makes its effectiveness increase by a further notch up. Now at this point we are not even half done singing the praises of 6, and that is only his passive capabilities, right, to buff, but his active buff card is in fact the most loaded buff card I've seen in the game, and the reason why is because on top of doing what he already does passively, providing the buffs to the targeted teammate, he's also able to purify and upgrade the levels of the target's cards if you have enough Eureka. And Purify, although being very niche, is incredibly useful in endgame content such as the Sea Serpent Raid with the Frostbite, or in Limbo when you encounter enemies such as Druvis that are able to petrify your team. And 6 is the only one that has a non-ultimate Purify, and the other units are like John Title and Tooth Fairy, so no one's going to use John Title, so it's only Tooth Fairy, which 6 has arguably an advantage over since ultimate cleanse are less reliable as compared to an incantation cleanse that is on demand. Now if you think this is all, we haven't even touched on his debuff kit, and his debuff kit is also something very strong, because if you look at his debuffs in his debuff pool, half of this are negative statuses, and negative statuses can help in activating Blasphemer of Night, which is one of the strongest Psycubes in the game given its tough criteria to trigger, and 6 is able to reliably apply this because he prioritizes those debuffs that the enemies do not already have, and it lasts for 2 turns, so it really helps with the uptime of Blasphemer of Night, provided you also have another source of negative status such as Jessica with her poison, or in the future Isolde with her burn. Now with all that said, you might be thinking, hey Corky, should I just go all out for his Portrays? In my opinion, you shouldn't, because he functions extremely well already at Portray 0 as a support unit. Of course, if you want to go for further Portrays, it's going to boost his DPS significantly, especially at P1 and P5, which is going to increase his ultimate effectiveness and DPS tremendously. And also, if you're going for more of a support route, you can go for P2. It's going to increase his personal damage and also increase his Eureka again, which makes it easier for you to upgrade cards of your targets. Now at this point, if it isn't obvious enough, I'm definitely going for 6, but I'm curious to know whether you guys are also going for him in the comment section below. Also, as strong as 6 is, he's just 1 unit. If you want to know what are the best teams that you can form with 6, definitely check out this video. I'll see you guys over there. This is Corky Gachas, signing off.